All right, what's happening, folks? So I'm gonna get into just a little quick recap of the UFC 280 this past weekend. Great card, and I just wanted to go over some of the fights that happened, and yeah, so let's get straight to it. So if you guys follow my channel, you guys will know our ice picks. We took Islam Makhachev parlayed with Peter Yan, and Islam won, and Peter Yan should have won. So that's the first fight I'm gonna get into is Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. So I went back and I wanted to watch this fight again. No commentary, just literally just scoring the fight. Really focus on scoring the fight. And going back, scoring the fight, I scored all 3 rounds for Peter Yan. All 3. I mean, could you have scored the third round for Sean O'Malley because he landed a knee, I believe, that cut Peter open? Sure. But he got dominated in that third round. And a lot of people like to say, oh, damage, sure, but I'm going to make something simple to you guys. Let's say I have an opponent. I land 50 head strikes on him. I land huge shots on him, big shots, but I don't cut him open, right? Some people, they wear damage different. Some people, they don't, you can't really see damage on them. Like a guy, Cabbage Carrera. Some of you old guys know I'm talking about. Cabbage Carrera used to fight in the UFC. Savage used to have just an iron chin, take shots and wear shots really well. Like, guys just born to take damage. Some people get cut earlier, like the Diaz bros. They got all that scar tissue over their eyes. It's easier for them to get cut. So damage it's a bit perspective. Like some people, they just, so let's say I land 50 shots on one guy. He lands one shot on me, but I get cut. The judges are going to score damage for him because I got the cut, but that's incorrect. I actually landed 50 head strikes and I actually damaged him more. But judges, they're stupid. They don't literally do the sport of MMA. It's unfortunate, and they're going to score it the other way around because they see, oh my God, he cut him open. We're going to score damage on that. But I don't know, man. He was getting dominated. Can I just see? Let's see here. So takedowns, 6 for 13, almost 50%. Look at the control time. In a 15-minute fight, he had almost 6 minutes of control time to Peter Yan. I mean, total strikes, he even landed more than Sean. So let's go. You watched the first round of that fight. First round, I watched it. Peter Yan, the strikes were close. Peter Yan landed a huge takedown, picked Sean O'Malley up, huge takedown, slammed him. That should have easily won him the round. I mean, are these guys not scoring takedowns anymore? What's going on? So huge takedown. Strikes were about similar in that first round. I give the first round clearly to Peter Yan. Round 2, Peter Yan drops Sean. Sean hurt him too, but Peter Yan came back way stronger, and Peter Yan dominated round 2. I don't think any judge scored round 2 for Sean. So round 2, easily Peter Yan. Now round 3, I had Peter Yan winning round 3 as well, and did Sean land cut him open? Sure, but was it enough to win him the fight? Absolutely not. I mean, some people who think Sean O'Malley won the fight, you don't know shit about MMA. This is going to ruin the sport. It's going to turn into boxing because you don't even want the fight to go to the judges' scorecard anymore because you're like, it's ridiculous, and it's affecting the gamblers who are putting their hard-earned money, and they earn that win. If you bet Peter Yan, you earn that win. You should have got that money for betting on Peter Yan. That's bullshit because he dominated that fight. Everyone knows Peter Yan won that fight. So that shit drives me nuts, man. Just horrible judging. My mom could have fucking judged that fight better than half these judges. I don't know because in Vegas, in the States, for example, they got to go through the athletic commissions, right? So if you're fighting in Vegas, you got to go through the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the judges. So the UFC has to go through the commission. The commission hires the judges and pays them. So I don't know how that works in Abu Dhabi. Do they have like the Abu Dhabi Commission? I'm not sure. Maybe the UFC just hires judges, and in that case, that could be a little conflict of interest, and that makes a little more sense that you know why Sean O'Malley would get the win. Now, moving forward, are they going to do a rematch? Probably not, as much as they should. And I would like to see this round being a 5-rounder. Peter Yan's great in 5-round fights. I would like to see this fight go 5 rounds. And I guarantee if they fought again, Peter Yan's going to be this favorite going into the second match again, even though, he lost the first one apparently. But I could see him being the favorite going into the next one. However, no way the UFC is going to do that. No way. So Peter Yan, he's gone to I could see him maybe fighting a TJ Dillashaw or something. Sean O'Malley, are they going to give him a title shot? Now, they said they would. If he goes out there and beats Peter Yan, he's going to get a title shot. That's what I was told. That's what Sean was told. Now, should he get a title shot? Absolutely not. You did not win that fight. Everybody knows you did not win that fight. And I don't think you should get a title shot against Aljamain Sterling, which is a really bad matchup for Sean O'Malley, especially if Aljamain gets that fight to the ground, which he probably will. That's going to be a hard and long night for Sean O'Malley. Now, that being said, I would like to see Sean O'Malley fight Merab Dvalishvili. If he gets past Merab Dvalishvili, sure, we'll give him a title shot. Or even the rematch with Chito. Give a rematch with Chito Vera, that'd be great. Or you could throw Chito in there for, the title fight. Because I know Merab doesn't want to fight Aljo. Their teammates make sense. So if you put Chito in the title shot, maybe Sean O'Malley fights Merab. They're saying something about Cejudo coming back fighting Aljamain, and that's never going to happen. The UFC will not allow that to happen because what happens is Cejudo goes in there, he beats Aljamain. What if he just retires again? And then now there's no champion, and the whole division's in disarray again. So the UFC doesn't want to risk that. As much of a great fight that would be, and I think Henry Cejudo actually beats Aljamain Sterling. I don't think Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to take a Olympic gold medalist in wrestling down and hold him there. So I think he's going to be forced to strike with Henry Cejudo, and I would see Henry Cejudo probably outstriking Aljamain, but I don't see the UFC doing that. It just doesn't make sense, especially if he leaves the division. So let's see here. I'm going to... Yeah, Aljamain Sterling, TJ Dillashaw. This was just embarrassing, dude, because this shit drives me nuts. I've seen Aspinall do that recently where you're injured, you're injured, but yet you still go into the fight injured, and it's disrespectful to the sport. It's disrespectful to your team and the UFC, the fans, everyone. It's ridiculous. And I can see it from TJ's perspective. Like, you know what? I'm maybe not going to get a title fight again. This is like my one opportunity to get a title fight and that money for being in a title fight. I sort of get it from that perspective. And he was suspended due to steroids for a while. But at the same time, man, if you're injured, dude, the first time he posted on it, the first, boom, if he posted on it once and his shoulder popped out. That, come on. You've had that injury entire camp, dude. Come on. Why are you taking this fight, bro? I mean, so many other bantamweights are probably dying at that opportunity to fight for the title. You're injured, go get the necessary recovery needed and come back, bro. You seen Tom Aspinall do that. Like, first kick he threw, he was done. It's like, come on, bro. You go into the fight with an injury. It's disrespectful. If I'm the UFC, I'd cut TJ Dillashaw. That's me. I'd be like, yeah, that's, don't need that shit. Oh, yeah, that shit drives me nuts. Now, Gamrot, Dariush, I did not expect this one. I would like to see this fight go 5 rounds. I believe in a 3-round fight, Arman Sarukian also beat Mateusz Gamrot. But then in the 5-rounder, Mateusz Gamrot came and started stealing those later rounds. So I would like to have seen this fight go 5 rounds. However, Beneil Dariush did surprise me with the takedown defense and his ability to dominate the striking aspect as well. He actually dropped Mateusz Gamrot in that third round. So, congrats to Beneil Dariush. Unfortunately, he's not very a marketable guy. So I don't know I don't see him getting a title shot anytime soon. They're going to try to delay that as much as possible. Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady, and this was a fight where Sean Brady looked exhausted after the first round, and I attribute that to he didn't come into Abu Dhabi until like the week of. And you see that even guy, what's his face, Muhammad Makhachev, he was like second fight on the card. This guy, he's in great shape, tremendous shape. You should see this guy's training. He's in wicked shape, and he's exhausted after the first round. I'm like, man, this guy didn't acclimate. People like to say, the altitude. You come early, acclimate to the altitude. But what about humidity? You're fighting in the desert, man. This is, and you're not used to that. Your body's not used to that. It's going to take time. You see guys like Islam Makhachev. They were in Abu Dhabi. He was in Abu Dhabi since June getting ready. You know what I mean? Getting his body ready. So you see fighters just going there and like, oh, I'm in great shape. I should be fine. I don't think so. That's the humidity is dealing with that. Even though you're fighting in an air-conditioned arena, just, when you're walking around and you're not in that air-conditioned arena, that takes a toll on your body. Just being in that environment in the desert, if you're not used to it, can be a rude awakening. So shout out to Bilal Muhammad because he absolutely crushed Sean Brady. What's next for him? I don't know. I'd like to see Bilal Muhammad fight Gilbert Burns. He's saying Chimaev. I don't think they're going to give him Hamzat Chimaev, or maybe even the winner of Shavkat Rakhmonov and Jeff Neal versus Bilal Muhammad. I'd love to see that fight. But Bilal Muhammad, yeah, real deal. Looked great. What was that other? Okay, so we got. Let's go to the main event. I told you guys. Easy work for Islam Makhachev. If this fight was even odds, I would have slammed everything on Islam Makhachev. If you guys remember Jaybird, good buddy of mine, he messaging me a few days before the fight, and he's like, bro, Charles Oliveira has the best jiu-jitsu in the UFC. Exact words. And I started laughing for like maybe 20 minutes straight because his jiu-jitsu is not even close to being the best in the UFC. It's actually not that great at all. Being a jiu-jitsu specialist myself and a jiu-jitsu instructor, I can tell you, does Charles Oliveira have good jiu-jitsu? It's very good, but it's not great. It's not anything special. I've seen him live be submitted by strikers, guys like Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas. I've seen them submit Charles Oliveira. I was very confident Islam Makhachev was going to be able to submit Charles Oliveira. Like I told you guys in my video, Islam Makhachev is a way better grappler than Charles Oliveira. Just because you got the most submissions in the UFC does not make you the best submission artist. Yeah, you might have I might have the most submissions in the country, but if I'm submitting all white belts, does it really matter? No, it's who are you submitting? That's what I want to know. Who are the guys that you're submitting? You submitted Justin Gaethje, great, but Justin Gaethje has no jiu-jitsu game. He's got no, you know what I mean? And Islam Makhachev, not only did he dominate the grappling, but he actually dominated the striking, which was actually really surprising to me. Dropped Charles Oliveira, did exactly what Gaethje was supposed to do when you drop someone. You go in for the kill. You don't let them recover. And that's what you've seen Islam do. Islam dropped Charles Oliveira, went in for the kill, finished him off with a head and arm choke or arm triangle. Just dominated Charles Oliveira everywhere. He didn't have a chance that fight. So, does Charles Oliveira got good jiu-jitsu? It's good, but it's nothing special. Guys like Damian Maia, Buchecha, even Islam, he fought a guy by the name Davi Ramos. Davi Ramos' jiu-jitsu is 10 times better than Charles Oliveira. If they were going to get into a jiu-jitsu match, it wouldn't even be close. If it was a grappling match, it wouldn't even be close. So, Islam Makhachev, the real deal. I don't know who's going to beat this guy at 155 for a long time, dude. He might reign this division. I've been telling you, in my opinion, he's better than Khabib. I mean, you won't know it now, but you will. Even Khabib says Islam's better. Everyone who trains with them says Islam's better. I've watched them sparring. Islam dominates. Islam dominates everybody, dude. This guy is literally the best 155er in the world, hands down. And in my opinion, probably pound for pound, number one. Alex Volkanovski's pound for pound number one, but I don't think Alex Volkanovski wants to go up to lightweight, dude. Is he going to have a speed advantage? Sure. But, dude, if Islam gets a hold of Volkanovski, it's game over, bro. I mean, you almost, you were in some bad submission attacks by Brian Ortega, who's got decent jiu-jitsu, but he ain't no Islam Makhachev, let me tell you. Islam Makhachev, different level jiu-jitsu, my friend. So Islam Makhachev's going to run that division for a long time. I don't know who's going to beat him. He's going to have to move up to welterweight to, have someone maybe, give him some trouble there. But yeah, that's my recap. And yeah, what a robbery that was. Because Peter Yan got robbed again. Pretty brutal. But yeah, give me your thoughts. Out.